Welcome, everyone. We're going to take the blood test. I don't know if I'm going to put this in an episode or its own episode, but we're going to go figure out all our extended zodiac sign.
Zodiacs.
Yeah. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
High bloods first.
High bloods first, yep. This will go in order of blood. So, okay, you're going to have to choose your class, which is just your
I am an
sign.
Aquarius.
Yes. The violet signs.
Violet signs. Okay.
So you're going to figure out what kind of dreamer you are. There's just prospect and Durst. So I think this tells you you're a dreamer.
You're a
so
Durst dreamer.
Durst. So I'm an Aquarius Durst.
Purple.
Purple.
And now we're going to find your aspect.
Out of all of these options?
Yes. So breath, life.
Yeah.
What is that?
Life.
Light, time, heart, rage, blood, doom, void, space, mind, hope.
Okay.
I thought I was wearing my hoodie, but I wasn't.
Oh no, I'm not in my closet.
We both have blood hoodies.
Oh, that's in my trunk.
But you're a hope aspect?
That's what we had decided a long time ago after multiple quizzes when we were very bored.
Yeah. I think a long time ago I was a heart dreamer, but I'm not so sure anymore.
Heart player?
I feel like with these things I change. Like if I took this next year, I'd be different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
that's
the
why
next
I
year.
think I need to take it again.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I'm a heart dreamer anymore.
Oh my god, thank god.
Light.
Oh, that's not what I got last time. I have to change one of my answers. Okay.
Mm.
So the light bound possesses a keen desire to learn and synthesize. They are ravenous for knowing and will go to great lengths to gain it. Although their
For knowledge.
Yep. Although their convictions are strong, their morality is decidedly gray. You will learn more about what it means to be a light bound when you see the final results of your test.
True
So
sign.
your true sign.
Aquapia.
The sign of the eccentric. You possess the unique combination qualities held by all violet Durst and light bound.
Yeah, that's strange.
That combination.
She's a Durst dreamer, but she's also a light
Wasn't
aspect.
No, she was.
What was she a Durst dreamer?
She was a Durst dreamer.
Okay.
I don't remember
You're
what
Rose.
answer I changed, but I didn't take this that long ago and I got mined.
You got. Oh, that's right. You did get mined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Which I
maybe
felt-
speaking
it's
through
fine.
it helps you think of it more.
I know. Does this make sense? Those bound to the aspect of light are the universe's knowledge seekers. They are, above all, driven to learn and understand. They are great alchemists, able to take multiple sources of information and synthesize them into something useful. They are scholars, blah, 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 blah. Okay. At their worst, they can be fussy, pedantic, and insensitive. I feel like I'm not insensitive, though. I mean, not that I never
I mean, that's at your
am.
worst.
Yeah, but I don't know. I felt like when I
Personality quiz.
when I got mined, I felt like that was better.
The mind. Can we look up that one? Oh, that's
No.
gonna do it.
Oh, we can just kind of
You can
skim it
quickly
while
go through
someone
now.
explains
Okay.
to Ariel more of Homestuck.
Yeah.
That's
That she
true.
has any
I didn't know if we
questions
should
about.
both do it at the same time and then we're just done.
Don't be ridiculous.
Okay, gosh, okay. Do you want to go
I'll take it.
next because you're the next blood?
I am the next highest blood.
Wait, how do you know what blood I am?
It says right down here.
Oh.
So you're a violet.
So
blood.
it's in order from low class to high class. There's only one person, I think, with this blood, and that's the...
Oh, in the game? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
There's
like
there's two only. There's two Fuchsia bloods.
Okay, two.
That's what Zephyros said.
Yeah, so those are the people that rule the country. You're right here.
Okay.
That's pretty freaking good.
Pretty freaking good.
You're also a sea dweller.
And then
Shelly's fucking trash.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
and Brittany's in the middle.
I'm middle class. So, what would you like to know about things, Ariel?
I don't really know.
Let's explain quadrants.
Okay, Ariel. Quadrants are kind of like relationships, but like official kind of things, like boyfriend, girlfriend.
Okay.
Like that's like, that's what you say.
Yeah.
So there's 4 quadrants in the Trolls Society. You have Moriel,
Okay.
Which is kind of basically best friends. They're supportive of each other.
Okay.
That's your Moirail. Zephyr said Demic was his Moirail. But it doesn't sound like a very good Moirail relationship that they have.
No,
but basically Moirail is kind of best friend.
Okay.
And then, or at least someone that they support each other really well. Then we have, I guess the easiest next would be Mate Sprit, which is just kind of boyfriend, girlfriend, red love.
Red love.
They're all like based off of the suits of cards.
Yeah. So Diamond's Moirail.
Mate Sprit is heart.
Okay.
Next I guess I'll
Kismesis?
Do you want me to do Kismesis next?
Yeah, that's the 2-person one.
Alright, so then Kismesis is the...
Mortal enemies.
Is the spade. And that's basically mortal enemies, kind of, in a way. But it's also, like, a form of, like...
fucking.
Romantic relationship.
Oh.
It's the easiest way to... Like, they hate each other, but it's also romantic.
That's so weird.
Yeah, there's not a lot of good examples in actual Homestuck, so it's hard for me to give an example. Like at the end, like John and Terezi were kind of doing that, but it's not like hate. Like it's not quite like that. Like I feel like there's a way, like it exists in our world, and it's a form of just like normal boyfriend girlfriend, but just not like quite like the other one. And then in our world, it's just another form of love, but it's a little. I don't know how to explain it well.
Okay.
I'm just gonna give Kismesis explanation. When a pair of adversaries delve into this quadrant, they become each other's Kismesis. As one of the conspicuous quadrants, it plays a role in procreation as well. There is no particular good human translation for this concept, which is why it's hard to explain. The closest would be especially potent arch rival. For instance, human players would never be able to adequately diagnose the relation between the queen and her archagent, but troll players could immediately place it as a dead ringer for Kismesitude. They would think they were all pretty stupid for not getting it, and they would be right. That doesn't help. But yeah, I guess arch rival, would be the best word for it.
Okay. Arch rival.
Arch rival. And then there's auspicious. I'm not saying it right. Auspicious, which is the clover, and that's a 3-person quadrant. And it's basically 2 people are like gonna kill each other, and then you have a 3rd person that's keeping them good.
I would like to describe it as Kismesis, but a Moirail in between the two. Like someone's like they're friends with this one and they're friends with this one and they're stopping. Like it's kind of like you two are fighting and I'm like, hey, let's break it up.
Okay.
And
that's an easy way to think about it.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a heart, so
I'm still a heart player.
You're still a heart player.
Interesting. Well, I can keep my hoodie.
Yeah.
0.
Oh. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that one.
Sign of the Redemptive. If your sign is a true 0, then your process the unique combination of qualities held by all Jade signs, Star Streamers, and Heartbound. Jade signs are zodiac caretakers. Oh, this is just Jade in general. They're caretakers, intelligent, steady, blah, blah, blah. You already did theirs, so we don't have to read it again. Heart. Those bound to the aspect of heart are very concerned with their favorite subject, themselves. It wouldn't be a stretch to call them self-obsessed, but not necessarily in a negative way. They simply want to understand one thing we are all stuck with our entire lives, i.e. our own minds. Forging an identity is extremely important to the heartbound, and every decision and action goes towards building a coherent narrative of their own story. That isn't to say heartbound don't care deeply for their friends and allies, they just have a tendency to assume that everyone is as concerned with identity as they are. They are excellent at putting on and taking off masks as situation calls for them. At their best, they are competent, imaginative, and steady. At their worst, they can be overbearing, inflexible, and cold. It sounds like me.
Yeah. It's pretty good, I think.
I'm glad I'm still a heart player. The first time I did this, I was also mind.
Oh, really?
I think it helps to, like, at least
see it again.
Yeah, see it again.
Alright, and I'm a bronze blood. So I guess now you can ask Brittany questions.
You are a
CrossFit
CrossFit
dreamer.
Oh, I thought you were Durst dreamers.
High
You're
five.
the edgy ones.
Edgy.
I've just been informed you don't know about the game.
I don't.
So the whole plot of Homestuck is these kids decide to play a new game that's coming out.
Okay.
It's called Suburb,
Okay.
and no one knows what it is. But they're like, we're all going to connect and play together. Yes.
When there was an announcement there was going to be a Homestuck game, I'm pretty sure 90% of the people thought it would be the game that's from that game. And
Yeah,
you would just
everyone
make
thought
your
it was
own
going
for
to
that
be
game,
Suburb.
and not like, yeah.
Which
Sounds like it would have been a good idea.
it would be
Yeah. It's
if it wasn't physically impossible.
possible. Yeah,
okay.
like,
So how you
pretty
play...
much.
Let's...
Okay.
The easiest way to explain this is it's kind of like The Sims, where you're controlling a house.
Okay.
So when you start playing the game, your house is, I want to say it's teleported to another dimension, and it's just your house.
Okay.
And then there's a countdown until you die. And you have to figure out how to live,
Okay.
basically. And that's what all of Homestuck is about.
Okay.
Is this game called Suburb, and it's constantly trying to kill you.
In real life?
In, like, super real life.
Okay.
Like, in multiple timelines in different ways,
Okay.
and in different universes.
Yikes.
The trolls also have the same game, except it's called Sugrub.
Oh, okay.
So they're all technically playing the game together and
Yeah.
trying to figure out a way to live and get a new world.
I see.
Because what happens is... Oh no, you're not teleported. Okay. So it's still a countdown. You have to figure out how to get out before you die. Except your world explodes.
Oh.
So what happens with the kids is they all... So John, Dave, Rose, and Jade, they're all friends.
Mhm.
So they all decide to play together. So someone can control your friend, who controls this friend, who controls that one. So they're all in like a circle.
Okay.
So their houses are all teleported out, and their homeworld explodes.
Oh my gosh.
And then you have to figure out how to make a new homeworld and how to nurture it and make sure it doesn't die.
Uh-huh.
All while the game is trying to kill you.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And that's...
That seems like that would be good. A good first 3 acts.
It's a very good plot.
Yeah.
Problem is, Hussey likes to ramble. Hiveswap is definitely the more chill version of Homestuck. You get a kind of bit of that
Yeah.
lore in there,
Yeah.
but it's a whole new thing
So far.
so far.
But like Doc Scratch might be here. Well, he's the world's guardian, so
He's like a whole entity.
yeah.
So-
do you want to explain Doc Scratch, Tara?
I don't even know how to explain Doc Scratch.
That's a good point.
Doc Scratch is I almost want to say a god. He's a guardian of a lot of worlds. He's basically this. He has a green shirt, he's in a white suit, and he's got a giant white cue ball for a head.
Great.
And he is crazy
Yeah.
and really old. I don't know what Shelby was thinking, asking me to explain Doc
I
Scratch.
was
I don't
coming
know
up
how to
with
explain
things.
Doc Scratch. Then there's cherubs, which are entities. So I'll explain cherubs because I like cherubs. Cherubs are basically 2 personalities in one body,
Uh-huh.
and that's how they are as children. One is very, very good, one is very, very bad, and whichever one is the stronger personality will win over in the end. So if the bad personality wins over, it'll go around destroying worlds.
Ah.
That's what cherubs do.
Okay.
Or if the good personality wins, they'll go trying to defeat evil cherubs.
I see.
Is basically how cherubs work. Cherubs, I'm excited because I think they're in Hiveswap for... Because cherubs are known for being green and red.
Oh, okay,
Green
okay.
cherubs are always good, red cherubs are always bad.
Yeah.
This is cherubish.
Yeah.
They're very commonly associated with snakes.
But they
And-
also are snakes too at times.
Yeah, they have like slithery snake
They're not always a
stuff going. They're not
Okay.
always snakes, but they're
sometimes the
they're
snake.
very snaky.
Okay.
So a lot of stuff in Hiveswap
Not
look
usually.
very cherubish.
Uh-huh.
The game where you play as snakes with green and red eyes seems
Yeah.
very cherubish.
Yeah.
And the portal that you jump into is 100% a cherub portal.
Yeah.
Because they're snakes with green and red eyes. And they're also very commonly associated with kind of like a lollipop swirl that's green and red. which is
What the
all...
key looks
Yeah,
like.
the key.
Which was also the portal, yeah. So there's
Yeah.
definitely some sneaky cherub business going on.
Yeah.
but I don't know what. And I'm really hoping there's a cherub because I like cherubs a lot.
Yeah.
They're very interesting.
Well, I got a life this time. I got mine in life, and then I always said I was a hope. So I just keep changing all over the place.
Well,
so concerned with the betterment of themselves and the world around them, the life-bound are natural healers. They are dedicated to positively and often quite unorthodox change whenever they want their help or not. You will learn more about what this means, blah, 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 which made me this thing, the Tarsk thing.
Tursky.
Tursky. It's kind of convalescent. Should I do anything about bronze bloods? Warm and generous dispositions, but you might not accuse them at first sight. When you meet them, tendency toward being withdrawn and slow to open up with new people. This can make them come off as arrogant or cold. We're gonna just move on. Move on to the aspect of life are the universal healers. They are concerned with the betterment of themselves and those around them, as well as the onward march of positive progress. Deeply empathetic, they have an intuitive understanding of others' suffering and the best way of righting those wrongs. If you're poisoned, chances are the life-bound has something for what
ails you.
This applies to both physical and mental suffering, though it might not be a cure you'll like. They'll also have the tendency to put others' needs before their own, which never ends well for anyone, because the life-bound can grow bitter if they feel that their own self-care had been shunted aside. At their best, they are great listeners, caretakers, and
nurturers.
At their worst, the lifebound are passive-aggressive and pushy. There's certain, they know best.
I agree. That's sassy Shelby.
Sassy Shelby.
I could be a live player.
Yeah, you could be a live player.
I want to know what the hope one is. Oh, you can just click on them?
Looks like it.
Apparently. Do you know which ones go where?
Oh, yeah. I just Googled it. But I have the picture of the hope for bronze. And I'm a prospect dreamer, so it's that one. Where? Up?
I don't know what these
there?
are. Oh,
that one. So that would be the one that if all my other stuff is. So let's read the hope and we'll collaboratively make a decision. Those bound to the aspect of hope are driven first and foremost by their convictions. They do right for right's sake and are quick to come to the aid of anyone they deem to be experiencing injustice. That said, their views of the world can be quite black and white, so what they see as right thing may not always be the universal acceptable view. They put great value in the power of the imagination, the ability to dream up a better and more beautiful future. If anyone can dream a better world into existence, it would be one of the hope-bound. They may sound like all sunshine and rainbows, but they aren't adverse to a little destruction, especially if they think they can replace it with something better and more just. At their best, hope-bound are positive, caring, and warm, and their worst, they can be narrow-minded and selfish. I feel like this hope doesn't sound like all the other quizzes I've taken that were not official.
Well, they're showing the good and bad. The good is definitely, I'd say, what you are, but you have to take everything with positive and negative. You're definitely a positive hope, but I don't know if you'd also be a negative hope at the same time, you know? Where, like, I can see you both being a positive and negative, like, depending on what your attitude is.
With life. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're definitely a positive hope. You're a very Jake English, blah, 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 but you're also not an arrogant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Who else was life?
Jane and...
Jane.
Who were you thinking of?
No one. I couldn't remember.
There's another life player, I think. I don't know if there is, actually, now that I'm saying this. Yeah.
I think that's the only life player.
But, because the two heart players are... Nepeta and Dirk. And I see myself as both of those. I can go positive and negative on that.
Yeah, the hope players I never really relate. Well, I can like a little bit.
I see you as
Jake
a
English.
You're
I'm
very much a
Ariel.
Jake English, but you're not an Ariel.
So the hope player is the one that is your color troll.
Okay.
But he's a prince
of hope. Prince means destruction.
So there's
he's the destruction.
There's a whole nother level to this if you
that
throw
they're not
in the
doing,
game that they're
right.
not doing. And I remember someone on Tumblr being like, "You coward! You should have put it all," and then made like so many different combinations. So basically, when you're in the game, you have a dreamer that you would basically land on Durst or Prospect, and then those have a thing in the game. But that's where if you go to sleep, that's where you wake up, and that's why you're a dreamer in that world.
Okay.
your aspect is kind of like your powers. You'll get powers based off hope, life.
You also have a
time,
class
space.
for your aspect.
And your class, because I feel like the class really affects your...
It definitely affects, because there's seers, there's princes, there's...
So basically that kind of just... I don't know how that affects
pages.
game-wise.
It depends on... It changes. It's actually very dependent game-wise, because it depends what your abilities are.
Yeah.
If you're
I feel like it changes the whole meaning of your aspect, too.
It does.
So maybe I do feel like I'm a knight of hope, but maybe I'm a life of something else.
Yeah, because... Let's just do different classes. There's knight, there's seers, pages, knights, maids, etc.
I think a prince would be a good example, too.
Yeah, princes are always good examples. Let's go with hope, because hope's a word that we can easily conjure. A knight of hope, knights are a protecting class, so they protect the hope in the game that people have.
Okay.
If you're a prince, prince means destruction, which means they will destroy any hope in the game.
Okay.
It kind of like
Same
destines your
aspect,
story.
very different class.
Mm.
Yeah,
And there's also thieves.
Yeah, and thieves and rogues are like
They
different.
steal.
Thieves and rogues both steal, but one's for themselves and one's for the team.
Yeah, so let's say thieves, let's say a thief of life. Thieves will take someone else's life for the sake of their own.
Mm-hmm.
Rogues will steal someone's life in order to help someone else.
I see. Interesting.
Yeah.
That would have been a fun.
I know, that's
Extra
why.
aspect.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, we can go find some random ones. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like once you know your class, it changes how your aspect, or what could be your aspect once you combine them
exactly.
both.
I always said Shelby was a knight of hope, because she's very much the positive side of hope.
And then there's like, I would have to find it, but there was someone that did like a good thing of like specific ones, like with both of them together and what that would mean. And then like Knight of Hope could like necessarily like also Protector of Hope, but then it has to go through like the whole. It had a good like negative side too that I was like, oh, this could be me.
Yeah.
And I don't remember it at the moment, but I was like, yeah.
I always said I was a Prince of Heart.
She was a Prince of Heart, Destroyer. Destroyer of Heart.
Destroyer.
And then what did we make Ariel? We made her a space player.
We
But
did.
what was she? What space
I think she was a sylph.
a sylph of space. What does sylphs do again?
I don't remember, but I remember making Ariel a sylph.
That's funny.
Do we want to look up more stuff or we?
We should probably end it soon, only because I don't.
It's also over now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.